What's up, guys? Sergio here. So today we're going to be looking at the last episode in my training series, episode 6, and we're going to be taking a look at bis and tris. So let's jump right in. So the first exercise I'm going to do is close grip bench press, and this is going to be working specifically my triceps, my chest, and my shoulders. Now I'm doing this for primarily the triceps. When doing close grip bench press, I want to be performing cluster sets. And if you've seen my previous leg day video where I was doing front squats, I also use cluster sets. And one of the reasons for this is to help maintain good form throughout the entire set. Doing close grip bench press, I think, is another technical exercise because it requires you to keep your hands pretty close together, which can cause a little bit of pain on the wrist. So by breaking the set in half, it allows me to have an efficient set without having to stop due to being uncomfortable or just to help avoid injury. So to explain what a cluster set is basically taking a set and splitting it into two. So if I was doing one set of 12, I would do 2 sets of 6. But my rest period would be no more than 15 to 30 seconds in between the 2 sets. So it's going to be a little bit shorter than if it was a traditional 12 repetition set where I might take 30 to 90 seconds. So with the cluster sets, I'm going to be doing 2 sets of 4, 2 sets of 3, and 2 sets of 2. And one other thing to remember when doing close grip bench presses, you always want to make sure that your feet are always have contact with the floor, and you also want to make sure that you keep your shoulder blades pinched together on that bench with your traps digging into the bench as well to make sure that you have really good power and a really good force output when you're doing the bench press. After the close grip bench press, I'm going to move on to a standing barbell bicep curl. And with this one, I'm going to do about 15 reps, and this is different than what I've done bicep curls in the past. And what I found is by doing a few more repetitions, I get a lot more muscle activation compared to if I'm going a little bit heavier and then I'm using other parts of my body. After the barbell bicep curl, I'm going to move on to a superset where I'm doing standing cable tricep push down, pairing that with a alternating dumbbell bicep curl. So once again, with the tricep push down, I want to make sure that I'm getting full range of motion at my elbow joint to make sure that my tricep is fully engaged. And then the same thing with the alternating dumbbell bicep curls. So with the first 2 sets of the alternating dumbbell bicep curl, my palms are facing up, and then with the last set, I'm going to do an alternating hammer curl where my thumbs are basically facing up. And this is just going to hit my bicep in a slightly different angle. So after completing these 2 exercises, I'm going to move on to another superset where I'm doing the tricep extension machine and the bicep curl machine. These machines are great for isolating the tris and bis specifically, and just to make sure that I'm not using other muscle groups to cheat or to help me out. If I haven't said before, even though I am a big advocate of free weight, I definitely think that cables and machines have their place, especially when you're trying to do isolation exercises where you really want to just focus on that muscle and you don't want to work stabilizer muscles. After finishing up with the machines, I'm going to move on to an overhead tricep extension using a rope, and also supersetting that with reverse cable bicep curls. So doing an overhead tricep extension with a rope I find to be superior than using a dumbbell, because when using a rope, you're actually able to target different parts of your tricep during the same movement. So when I bring my elbows fully extended, I will begin to pull the rope apart, and by doing this, it hits different heads of my triceps. Rather than if I was just doing an overhead tricep extension with a dumbbell, I'm only going to be targeting one part of my tricep. But getting that movement in where I'm able to bring the rope apart at the top of the movement, I feel like I'm working different parts or different heads of my tricep. when doing the reverse grip bicep curl, this is a great opportunity to work the extensors in your forearms. And this is an area that I think is really neglected because it's something that we don't really think about, and it's not a really easy movement to do otherwise in any of our other exercises. So doing reverse grip bicep curls is a great opportunity to hit the extensors as well as hit your bicep in a slightly different angle. So the next exercise I want to move on to is single arm reverse tricep extension. And the reason why I go in reverse for this one is it's an opportunity to put the tricep in a little bit of a different angle. Before, when I was doing tricep pushdowns, my palms were facing down, but this time my palms are facing up. So it just is a different way to hit the triceps and work the triceps. So I really like doing this. I like using the cable because I can really isolate my triceps and not use any other body part to help out with the movement. The last exercise I want to do is a single arm seated bicep curl. And I really like this as a finisher for the bicep curl in the same way that I like doing the single arm tricep pushdown. And it's because you really get to isolate that particular muscle and you just really get to take it to failure until you can't do anymore. So doing it seated really takes the opportunity for me to use my body weight to swing the weight up. I still have to avoid the temptation to use my shoulder to kind of sling the weight, but it's really a great movement to finish off with doing bicep curls. Alright guys, well that's going to be it. That is going to conclude my training series. Hopefully you guys did learn something from this. Hopefully you can take some of the exercises that you've seen throughout the series and apply it to your own workouts. And maybe even now you have a better understanding of why these different exercises are good to do. So if you guys did like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you guys have not subscribed to my channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.